Hi, Sal.
We met in 2010,
Yes, we did.
and we've been traveling a lot ever since.
We have for the past 9 years.
Wow.
We made it our first trip to Hawaii. It was a big stretch, but we didn't know what traveling together would be like. So we
Sure.
go somewhere easy, and it worked out great. And then we did Turkey. We did Turkey and Greece. We went out to Kos and Rhodes, as well as Selçuk. Ephesus was the big pull there, and Istanbul obviously was great. We met your daughter and husband there, so
Yeah.
spent some time in Istanbul before moving on, and then Peru. We did Machu Picchu.
All of this is what we did before we decided to take time off from
Right.
work and really investigate travel.
Yeah, and then Thailand, Cambodia, and Myanmar. And then obviously we've been to Yucatan twice, and then Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. So Mexico's great.
I used to get 3 weeks off of work, so we would take a 1-week trip to someplace close, and then we would take a 2-week trip to someplace further away. And if I changed jobs, I would always say, oh, well, I already had trips planned, so I would take a 1-week trip and then maybe a 3-week trip if I could get away with it during the interview or hiring process to let him know.
Yeah. So it's one reason to work in the healthcare industry is you get a lot of time off.
Unfortunately, if you work in hospitality, maybe not so much. It probably
Yeah.
depends on your employer.
Yeah.
But usually you can negotiate those things.
Yes. So, but anyway, travel is worth it. So we're just introducing ourselves. I guess I should have mentioned that right off the top. So this is a little introduction video.
Yeah.
And then in 2016, we quit our jobs and traveled for a year.
Yeah.
And saw just a lot of the world.
Well, people always want to travel. Why on earth would we decide to take a whole year to travel? Because that's very extravagant.
Well, we saved for 2 years.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference between traveling and going on vacation. So that's one of the things I want to get across on this channel is there's a big difference there. You go on vacation for a week and you drop $5,000. I've done it. I took my kids to Hawaii. We dropped $5,000 in a week.
Yeah.
Fast forward a few years later, I spent 3 months in South America for about $7,000. That's traveling.
Yeah.
Much less expensive. It's, do you go eat out every night when you're at home? No. You cook meals. You go to the grocery store. You can do that when you travel.
Right. I think that's kind of our main focus is seeing what we can see versus having an artificial cultural experience, I'm going to say. And I don't think that's necessarily fair. I get that people have actual cultural experiences when they vacation, but being involved in a community, learning what the grocery store is like is a big insight into what their culture is like, what's important to them. Like, for example, in Chile, they like to eat mayonnaise and avocados a lot. They love those.
Right. Lots of mayonnaise, not
Chile,
just a little bit. It's just like they pile it on.
Yeah.
So, but it's normal, so that's how they do it. So.
Now, I'm working and you're writing and blogging and vlogging. Are we planning on traveling more in the future?
Oh, of course. I will travel all the time. I'm never going to not travel. I think our next Portugal
Or Spain?
or Spain.
We're debating.
Yeah. So both just amazing locations. I mean, there's Barcelona, Madrid. I want to go to Seville. I want to go to Porto in Portugal. I want to go to Lisbon. I want to go down to the Azure coast. That's not the name of it, but it's close. So and that's just 2 countries.
Right.
I mean, Scotland, Iceland, back to Southeast Asia. There's so much to see.
Ultimately, I think that we changed. We went from being vacationers to a degree.
Yeah.
I don't know that we were ever super touristy vacationers, but we definitely have changed the way that we travel. I think we're permanently changed as people. Even if we go on a vacation again, we probably will approach it differently, just because we've had such tremendous experiences embedding ourselves in communities and
Oh.
learning more about what it's like to be a visitor and understand how the locals get around and do things.
Right. The best food you'll ever have is at a local restaurant.
Yeah.
So wherever your tour guide is taking you, just go somewhere else.
You can get away with that.
Yeah.
You can't always if you're on a tour, but
Yeah.
yeah, good. That's who I am. I'm a traveler.
Yes.
I
me
travel.
too. And me too. And we want you to travel too. So stay tuned. Listen to our stories. Listen to the good advice, and take advantage of that. And you go farther, faster, cheaper, and have better experiences. That's really what it's all about. If you're sitting in a resort, you're not getting an experience of that country or city you're in. It's just, when we were in Giza, I called it Fort Marriott.
Oh, yeah.
There's guard dogs. Now we walk up as Americans, restaurant, and come on in. It's like, of course we can get in, but
They were keeping the locals at bay.
yeah. So, and it's sad because that was one of the few times I think we wanted salad. So sometimes getting green vegetables and greens into your diet is tough. So that's one of the times you might want to go to one of the forts.
Yeah. Sure.
But,
Absolutely.
So anyway, stay tuned. Please subscribe, like a video if you like it, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Sal.